Welcome back to Truth Seekers, the podcast hosted by True. I am your host. First and foremost, I just want to disclose that this podcast is based on personal theories, experiences, and opinions. We can all agree to disagree without spreading hate to our fellow community members. All right, guys, quick recap if you are just tuning in. Last week's episode was on CERN, and CERN is a huge research facility that is based in Geneva, Switzerland. It is home of LHC, which is the Large Hadron Collider. And what it is it is a research facility that is trying to recreate the Big Bang Theory and study the building blocks of matter. So they smash particles together at extremely high speeds at this research facility. And some people theorize that these high energy experiments could be affecting the fabric of reality and potentially causing shifts between parallel universes, and therefore giving a reason as to why we experience the Mandela Effect. So what exactly is the Mandela Effect if you've never heard of the term? So the term was brought about in 2010, and this happened when Fiona Broome realized that her, among many other people, vividly remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. So why that's weird is because Nelson Mandela actually died in 2013. But so many people remember him passing away in prison in the 1980s, right? So that's what kind of led to the term the Mandela Effect. And that's how people started realizing, people are having false memories of distinct things that were just like a given to be remembered or, a certain way. And it's coming about that it was actually never that way. So interestingly enough, 2010 is when the phenomenon gained traction. People started to realize that, things were a little weird. But it was actually in 2009 when Fiona had first realized that this phenomenon was happening. Right? So why that's important that it happened the year before is because 2009 is the same year when there was an incident that happened at CERN. One section dangerously overheated, and when the technicians at CERN went to investigate on what went wrong, they discovered pieces of a baguette that a bird flying overhead had dropped into the collider. As if this isn't strange enough, mind you, this is a huge research facility. They have to make sure everything is, top notch before conducting one of these experiments. So for a bird to get through, that was already a little strange, right? So as if that wasn't strange enough, a bird with bread at that, but as if that wasn't strange enough, when they went to go research it even more, they started to believe that the bird was actually sent from the future in an attempt to sabotage what is going on at CERN and the experiments that are going on at CERN. And so while most scientists would kind of write this off as some type of freak accident, these scientists are committed to proving that they don't believe that what's going on in CERN is correct and it's safe for humanity. So one of these scientists was named Bech Nelson of the Niels Bohr Institute in Copenhagen, and another was Meso Nehemiah of the Yugawa Institute of Theoretical Physics in Japan. And they've published several papers over the past year arguing that the CERN experiment may be the latest in a series of research projects whose purposes are so unacceptable to the universe that they're doomed to fail and that they're being subverted by the future. So according to them, there's been multiple bizarre incidences happening at CERN that they can't explain. And they believe that it's future beings or, something coming in from different portals in other realms that are coming to stop these experiments because they are so bad. Mind you, this is not just somebody, on a podcast, like coming up with their weird little theories and philosophies, or somebody on TikTok. Like, these are actual scientists at CERN saying this is weird. Okay, so we know something's going on there. Something's going on that is not making sense. But what exactly, let's get back to what the Mandela Effect truly is. Let's kind of look at some examples so you guys can kind of have an idea on your own. Okay, guys. So, do you guys remember the cartoon growing up in the 90s, the Berenstein Bears? So apparently it was never the Berenstein Bears. It was the Berenstain Bears. And that is so bizarre to me because there was never an A. It was not Berenstain. Whoever like I don't remember it ever being that, but apparently that is the thing. This is apparently how it was always spelled. And if you guys don't believe me, you got to look it up because I'm going to show a visual. But yeah, guys, stain apparently was stain. Like, I just don't recall it ever being that. All right, guys, I know you guys are going to get this one right. Like, there's no way that you can get this one wrong, right? Okay, so remember the Monopoly guy? Remember, the guy with the hat that was running, that had the monocle, the little glasses on thingy on one ear, right? Okay, so take a look at this, right? We obviously remember him, running in that way with the hat. All right, well, guess what? He never had the monocle. Ever, like in the history of Monopoly, he never had that. Like, we know he did. We know he did in our realm. We know he did. Apparently, he never did. How about this next one? I feel like I'm a game show host right now, but how about this next one? Looney Tunes. Which one do you guys think it was? Toons or Tunes? It was actually spelled Looney Tunes, Tunes, which I don't remember it that way at all. Okay, next one. How about the famous peanut butter Jiffy? Oh, it was never Jiffy. It was always Jif, apparently. I remember it being Jiffy, but I mean, I don't eat that peanut butter anymore because of the seed oils, but that's a whole other episode that we're gonna get into. All right, guys, next one. Oscar Mayer. Oh, got you again. It was always Oscar Mayer. It was never Oscar Mayer. Who ever said Oscar Mayer? Nobody has ever said that in like the history of like baloney. All right, this one is definitely gonna get you guys. Curious George. We all remember Curious George, right? With his banana and his tail that apparently never existed because apparently he never had a tail. Apparently he just never had a tail. And I'm telling you, guys think I'm joking, but I need you guys to look back and see that I'm not making this up. These are bizarre things that we remember so vividly. Like, this is the way it was. And apparently this was literally never the way it was, right? It's not like they were changing the characters or something. Like, no, this literally, they were saying that was never a thing. Pikachu. I remember Pikachu. I loved Pikachu growing up. That was like the only Pokemon I actually liked. Which one do you remember it looking like? Remember its tail? Think about it. Guys, it was never the one on the left. It was never the one with black. So Pikachu's tail never had black. Like, how? I vividly remember Pikachu's tail having black at the ends, but apparently that just never happened. All right, last one, guys, last one. Fruit of the Loom. I want you guys to close your eyes and think of the Fruit of the Loom icon. Remember the fruit, remember the cornucopia, remember the whole shebang. Okay, but it never had the cornucopia. It was just fruit and Fruit of the Loom. Like, who remembers things these way? Like, this is just collectively like not the memory that anybody, I feel like, that I know has of these icons or these. I'm baffled. Are you guys baffled? Am I the only one that's like, this is so weird that we all remember this in like a different way, and obviously that never happened? Like, how is that possible? So this YouTuber had an old book of the Berenstain Bears. And every time he would go into the other room, it would change from Berenstain to Berenstein and back and forth. So he would go into the portal room, it would be Berenstain. He would go back into the other regular room, it would be Berenstein. It's just, it would just go back and forth. And if you guys think I'm making this up, I'm putting the video up, but if you guys are only listening on audio, you guys should definitely look it up on your own. But see how the book literally switches from the E to the A, back to the A, back to the E.
Video, Okay. Yeah, this is weird. So I just have to show you. I hung this thing up. I got it a long time ago My cousin painted that picture. It used to be hanging over here. I've decided to move it over there. I put this over here just for the hell of it. I'm only bringing this up because until I had done those two things, things were normal inside of this room right here. So as the night I did this, it was just a couple nights ago, that really weird stuff started to happen in that room, and things, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was seeing stuff. So I'm just I'm doing this video so you guys can see, and I'm going to show it to you live. This book, this is one of my nephew's books. It's just an old book. It's something my brother and I used to have growing up, and I started to look on the internet about this crap, and some weird stuff going on here with this name, Berenstain Bears. So I had this book, again, it's my nephew's, but I had this book in my closet from when they came over. I wanted to give it back to them. I planned on going out there to see them, and I dug it out, and I noticed that the Berenstain had said Berenstain in that room. But I come out here into just the normal other part of the house, and it says this. So just so you know I'm not crazy, I'm going to show you as I pass through this doorway what happens, and it's fucking weird. All right, it happens when it gets in the room. See it? And then back out here, normal. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. And then normal. This just creeps me out, man. I don't even like to be in this room anymore. But I sleep in here. I mean, look at that. That shit is changing right there. Anyway, this I just know something weird in that room. And
it's just so weird. And if you guys are listening only on audio, I definitely recommend you guys look up that YouTube video. So what makes this whole thing even stranger is the YouTuber cannot be found now. Haven't seen any more videos of him. Who knows? It could be a hoax. We don't know what this man is doing day to day, but he just completely went from, posting all of these videos of portals being opened, weird things happening in his room and in his home, to not being like no sign of life anymore. So we cannot even find him to ask him any more questions. So guys, what are your thoughts on the Mandela Effect? Do you guys think that it is psychology based, reasoning that this is happening? Do you think that we're just cognitively having these false memories and then society is building upon these false memories? Or do you believe that we have been put into a parallel universe and we shift sometimes back and forth between the two? For me, if it was just me that was remembering these examples one way, I would be like, all right, I need to get checked. Like, I'm obviously the problem. Something is wrong with me. But for me, what psychs me out is the way I remember all of these things, right? I asked all of my friends and they seem to remember it the same exact way. And these are not people that I went to school with as a child, that I grew up with. Why do we all remember it happening a certain way that apparently never happened? And we all remember it, the exact same examples that they are saying that just never was a thing. What did you guys think about the examples? Do you guys get them right? Do you guys have false memories? Do you guys think that this is the result of what happened at CERN in 2009? I'm really curious to hear your opinions on the Mandela Effect. I'm just scared because for me, it's like, what? Like, how far is this going to get? I mean, these could be silly little things that we can agree to disagree on. Like, all right, like Curious George's tail, or like, all Pikachu's tail. What if it happens with bigger issues? So what if it's things that we actually need to all be on the same page with? What if it's huge things that, we can't afford to not remember correctly. I don't know, guys. This is just, it could get carried away. I think CERN needs to stop what they're doing immediately because things are getting a little weird. But I want to hear your thoughts, guys. What do you think? And also, if you have any recommendations for a topic I should cover, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But until next time, and I'll see you guys soon.